new skate there. So I've got a few hours before work. I've been hanging out to try these out. It's a little wet, no one's here. I'm excited. I'm mostly excited about the frames because everyone knows I love the M12. But anyway, let's get these on. So fit wise, these are very snug, and if this is what my Joes felt like, then damn it, they break in well. It just takes a while. Just roll around and warm up. The place is much wetter than I thought it would be. You see there's a mark on my skates. It's because I have had a very brief skate on these already. And I've noticed some very big differences frame wise. These frames feel a lot longer, a lot less maneuverable than the Solas, even though they're the same wheelbase, I think. It might just be the wheels, but yeah, not a fan so far, but very early days, we'll see. If they slide well, I'll be happy. The weather's been so bad. I do not feel comfortable doing shit with this camera. That's probably enough. Let's switch. Let's do some grinds before the park's packed. It is the weekend. Ugh. I tried some Royales from the 10 minutes I skated, and it's a weird feeling. Plastic feels like a wheel. So when I hit it, I think I'm on a wheel when I'm not, which is a weird feeling. If I commit, it's fine, but it doesn't feel good. But anyway, we'll do some solves. Wet ground, man. It's my favorite trick. Should be getting it. Let's try. Come on. Oh, come on. Normally I would avoid skating on a wet day like this, but it's winter here. It looks like it's going to be a bad winter. We're going to have like no sunny days. So yeah, hopefully I don't ruin my wheels and bearings too much. Symetrics feel great. Plastic's much smoother feeling than metal for sure, obviously. The metal almost made it easier to hold because it's like you could feel it more. Yeah, feels good. I like it. No wheel bite issues on Symetrics. So let's do the real wheel bite issue, Royales. I didn't record any of that, but feels very different to the Solas. The angle's very different, but wheel bite doesn't seem to be an issue. You missed me trying. It took me a few attempts, but we'll keep going. It's hard to get boot down, I'm noticing. It's probably because you gotta wear a groove in. It's different. Like I feel like I can hold it almost boot down and then I fall into boot down. Definitely feels slower, which is something I wouldn't expect. Feels like I could actually need to wax things at some point. Yeah, I think I just have to wear a groove in. I would say there's much better wheel bite protection on these over the solars. No issues yet. Anyway, I think I'm just going to wear a groove in. Let's do some more. So Nugans have notoriously been the hardest trick for me to get skating flat. Even though it's just like a royale, it's just the stick is a lot worse. Oh, should let me know if it is the hardest one. It seems like it's gonna be good. Feels like I put all my weight on the wrong foot, but it feels better than the solars. It's safer. So yeah, just need practice, I think. To summarize my experience so far, Peter and Olga have done an exceptional job. Like, I haven't touched the wheels at all, I haven't felt it. I don't know if it's a combination of their wheels and the groove, but it's great. I just need to do a bunch of groove tricks to wear it in, and they're going to be fine, I think. It's just learning that new point that's the hard part. Biggest difference between this and the solars, Topsides is so much more fun, so much easier, a lot less hard on my knees, easier to slide. The leech has a weird locking point that's further on top. It's like you're grinding the inside of the coping. But if you know me, you know I've struggled to get any straight topside all along that leech. It's so hard. I can loop topside the whole thing, I can never get a forward topside. Anyway, I've got an 8-hour day of physical work today, so I don't want to kill myself too hard. So I'm going to try to finish with some spins. Hopefully I can get a 7. So I have a theory that the maneuverability of the solars with the Conjure Cosmics is why I could spin so quick. And I definitely don't feel the same on these. So yeah, it doesn't help that it's wet, but we'll try. So what's my first impressions of the Roces M12 Tides and the aluminum symmetric frames? So like I briefly touched on, these feel very different to my Joes. Got them here. These feel a lot lighter, these feel a lot more maneuverable. And yeah, of course you're sliding on metal with these, so it's a completely different feeling. See, the first thing I noticed when rolling these is it feels like a bigger wheelbase, even though it isn't. I'm pretty sure it isn't. Other than it's got bigger wheels on it, the frames are the same size. But these feel a lot more like I'm on train tracks. You know, not like anti-rock are bad, but like I don't feel like I can really dart around like those. And it's probably because of the wheels on my Joes. Those Cosmics are just amazing. I'll definitely want to try them out on these, although I've only heard bad things about that. I've heard that these are too thick and you'll be sliding out too much on them. But who knows? We'll talk about the boot first, okay? It's weird because I have two things to talk about here, two new things. So the boot, you know I love the M12, so you know I love this boot. But it does feel different. First off, the fit, I'm still not sure if I actually got a smaller size or not. So I don't know if that's the case, but they feel a lot tighter on the inside. I do remember my Joes feeling like that at the start, but it seems extra bad here. But if anything, that just reaffirms me how much these skates break in. So even though these feel really tight at first, they definitely get to a space where they're totally comfortable. They break in quite well, I think, so that's good to know. And that whole skate I just had then, no pain at all. It actually feels a lot better already compared to the other times I put it on. The boot itself does feel different, which is strange. I think I'm going to put it down to the fact that I have nice waxed hockey laces on these, and I have these stock Roces ones, which don't really do much because they're not the strongest. The boot feels a bit looser, a bit more flexy, which is weird. I also really noticed the liner moving. Maybe it's just because it was wet today, so I had to skate a bit differently so I don't slip. But I could hear it, this bit rubbing, and it's something I don't really notice on the Joes. The boot is just an M12, I love it. Guess we'll just see how it holds up compared to a fully plastic, because if you don't know, this is almost half cornstarch to help cut down how much plastic there is in the world, which is cool. And yeah, I really want it to be good, just because that's a really good step in the right direction, I think. But anyway, they look sick. Let's move on to the frame, which is the more important part. This is actually something new for me. So Peter and Olga threw in the symmetric wheels for me in the order. I didn't order them, so shout out to them for that. This means I'm skating this how it was meant to be skated. You know, these wheels are designed to be in this frame, and it definitely feels that way, because there was like absolutely no point where I was getting wheel bite, and I was missing my groove a lot. They've been thought out well. There's definitely a lot less wheel bite in these compared to the Solas. Like even after skating those for however long I've been skating them, I do still get wheel bite on them, but I'd learned to avoid it, you know, so it was at a good place. It's not like I don't like that. But yeah, anyway, I think the fact that this shields the wheel so well means it's going to be easier for me to get more confident on it and to break in the groove and learn the groove. My first little session I had off camera on these, I wasn't sure about them. I didn't like, you know, knowing that I was going to have to learn a whole new groove and a whole new frame. It's not a great feeling. The feeling they had on Topsides made me want to like learn that, made me excited for that, but that's about it. Everything else just felt like it was the Solas, but I had to relearn them. But after today's session, I think I'm going to really, really like these frames. And once again, it's probably because of everything. I think the groove tricks really scared me at first, because getting in a Royale and landing in the groove felt the same as hitting wheels on the solar frames, which is weird. Like, it's a soft feeling. But once I got past that, and I know what it actually felt like, because I mean, there's no point where I could feel that I was on the wheel, so I don't even know what that was going to feel like. But yeah, once I got past that, they felt great for groove tricks. I feel like these are going to help me really get my noogans back, just from my front noogans, just from the little attempts I had. They felt so much safer. I didn't feel like I was just going to stick. Unrelated to the frames, I think the reason I struggle with front noogans so much is just because I really try to compensate for wheel bite. I don't relax, I don't have confidence in it, which means I don't commit, and that's what gets me hurt, I think. So hopefully these frames will help me get over that, and I can have front noogans be consistent again. But anyway, back to the frames. Not only do groove tricks feel really good, but even soul tricks, they all slide nicely. It's definitely different because it's not on metal compared to the Solas, but it's a nice return to form, you know. It's like plastic's fun. Plastic's smooth, predictable. It's a bit slower, but it's fun. The biggest plus to these is on Topsides. Topsides are completely different now. They feel so much more trustworthy. They slide so much nicer than they do on the Solas. And yeah, I think that's one of the things I'm most excited about. Off camera I did a few stalls, and it felt like I'm going to be able to get all these tricks I used to have back. You know, like all my alley-oop topsides, my true topsides, be more confident in fish frames again. It's going to be fun. I'm excited to learn this frame. That makes me really want to commit to that. And damn, they just look so sick, man. I love having a setup that I actually like the look of, you know. This is so cool. There is one thing that does concern me about these frames, and it's just the pieces they come in. So if you see them here, there's a slider piece here, there's one ball here, and then there's an H block. If you can see from my first session, I'm already wearing through the H block. You're not going to be able to see that. Through the H block into the slider. Which I suppose doesn't matter at all, but it just means I had to replace both when I wear them out. You know, I can't, it's not like I'm going to wear the H block out and be able to replace that. I don't know, that's a dumb point. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I really like them. First impressions is I really, really like them. I'm excited to get used to them, and yeah, I'm super happy. Thanks for coming along for my first skate on these. Hopefully I get back out there and you guys can come along and watch me get used to a new setup. Should be fun. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, guys. Huge shout out to my patrons and members: Acosta Blades, Adam, Ben, Kevin, Chris, Dan, Deb, Dennis, Joel, Lake Brothers Blading, Matt, Mark, Mike, Nathaniel, Sean, Skids Grind Plates, Sonic Sports, Sweet Moves, Tagi, The Book of Grinds, and Tice. And I'll see you all later on. Peace out.